Now about a would-be crook who was caught on camera this past weekend as he tried to steal a large Yeti cooler from the bed of a pickup truck. And the thing is, he had some trouble.
It seems he underestimated the weight of that cooler. It all happened in the parking lot of a local business off of SPID across from the Trade Center. Our Bill Churchwell joins us now with that video. Bill.
You know, that crook might want to work out his arms a bit more because he wasn't expecting the cooler to be so heavy.
It's a heavy cooler by itself, and he put like 40 pounds of ice in it, plus all the drinks for the beach afterward.
And this is the video that has been viewed more than 30 times now on social media. Angie Kelly's brother Josh owns this black truck. It was parked outside of Mako where he works. When you see another truck pull up next to his, a man gets out and attempts to lift the cooler out of the bed of the truck. Well, not so fast. The attempt looked more like a wrestling match with that cooler.
The guy slipped and kind of fell out of the truck, did not get the cooler. So we're right over here. My brother gets about right here at the front of this truck. The silver truck backs up, almost hits him.
Well, Josh ended up kicking the door of that man's truck as he took off, and they are hoping someone recognizes that vehicle and reports him to police. Back to you.
Oh my gosh, and definitely go to our website for more on that story.